Hi all, thank you for being here for the College Access Program workshop. My name is Lalo or Eddie, and I'll be one of your mentors that kind of sticks with you throughout the rest of your college career if you're a basic scholar. And if you're not, then just for the time being. Pancho?
And I am Mr. Ramirez or Francisco Ramirez or Pancho, however you guys want to call me. I'm also going to be one of your mentors throughout this whole program. And we're happy for you guys to be here, and we're happy to get started.
I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen so y'all can see what I see. Great. So College Access Program. First slide is just going to be us telling you a little bit about, this is our list of contents. So we're going to go through housing and dorm selection, fee payments and financial deadlines, orientation programs and their importance, submission of health records and immunizations, to-do lists, and pre-college prep, and then understanding award letters and financial aid packages, which is a big one. And finally, we're going to end it up with importance of sending thank you letters for scholarships and grants received. So I'll get us started with the housing applications and dorm selections. So securing your housing is probably one of the first steps towards starting your college journey after applying for college. So to begin your housing application early is a really good decision because spots tend to fill up really quickly, especially in the more popular dormitories. So research all available housing options, considering factors like location, amenities, and costs. And if you're looking for a quiet study environment, or are you looking for a more social atmosphere? Do you want a single room? Or are you open to having a roommate? Single rooms tend to be more expensive. If you prefer a roommate, then make sure to fill out any of the preference forms thoroughly to find a compatible match. And then apart from that, just be aware of all the deadlines and associated fees to avoid missing out on your preferred housing. Starting early and beginning thoroughly in your choices gives you a better chance of getting a spot that fits your needs and preferences, ensuring a comfortable and conducive living environment for your college life. So if there's any questions on that, you can go ahead and put them in the chat and we'll answer them at the end. But we'll keep it moving.
All right. So this particular slide is going to be focused on like any fee payments and any financial deadlines. So know your deadlines, set up your payment plans, monitor your accounts, and then obviously the big one is to avoid any late fees. So managing your finances effectively is crucial to avoid any disruptions in your college experience. It is important to be aware of any fee penalties or any deadlines to avoid any late charges. Universities often provide several payment options, including setting up your payment plans. If you need to spread out your payments, inquire early and set up a plan that fits your financial situation. Regularly monitor your student account to keep track of any outstanding balances or any additional charges that might arise. By doing so, you can assure that there are going to be no surprises and that you are always on top of your financial obligations. Staying on top of your financial deadlines helps maintain your enrollment status, keeps your credit clean, and avoids any unnecessary stress, allowing you to focus more on your studies and less on your financial worries. So if you guys have any questions on any of that, then just go ahead and put that in the group chat. Okay. So any questions you guys might have, even if you guys think about it towards the end, just go ahead and pop it in there, and then we'll go ahead and answer those for you guys.
And since we'll eventually be sharing this video with other scholars, and I think any question that you might have is probably a good question, because there's definitely going to be someone out there that needs that answered as well. But moving on. So orientation programs and their importance. So orientation programs are designed to help you transition smoothly into college life. So make sure to attend all scheduled sessions because they provide valuable information about academic expectations, campus resources, and student services. These sessions are crucial for getting to know the support systems available to you, such as tutoring centers, libraries, health services, mental health services, So orientation is also a great opportunity to meet other new students and start forming friendships and networks that can support you through your college journey. Additionally, making the time to familiarize yourself with the campus layout is really important. So basically just knowing where your classes are, where the dining hall is and study areas so you can make your first days of class as easy as possible. Orientation programs are packed with activities and informations that are essential for your adjustment, so take full advantage of them to start your college experience on the right foot. So for me personally, I think orientation was where I met a lot of my close friends that I am still friends with today. It also kind of helped orient me and kind of understand where the classes were being held and what building was where I was going to be taking most of my classes. And after the first semester is the hardest because you are trying to figure out where everything is, who you are, who your friends are. So definitely take advantage of orientation because you'll meet a lot of new friends there. Any questions in the chat?
All right. So we're going to be looking over the submissions of health records and immunizations. So a few things to kind of look over are going to be to check your required documents, schedule your appointments early, submit before the deadlines, and obviously keep copies of everything. So submitting your health records and immunizations is a critical step in preparing for college. Each institution has specific requirements for health documentation, so check what documents are needed well in advance. Schedule any necessary medical appointments early to ensure that you can meet the deadlines. Completing and submitting these forms accurately is crucial to avoid any holds on your registration, which can delay your ability to enroll in classes or access any campus facilities. Always keep copies of everything you submit, as having your own health records can be helpful if any issue arises or if you need to provide proof of immunization in the future. By taking care of these requirements promptly, you're ensured you to comply with campus health policies and are ready to start your college experience without any medical related delays. So I know this is like a question that popped into the senior seminar class. I know Victor was one of the ones that asked this question, but this is something that I was kind of new to, and it was something that was good for me to know. That way I could, really look into it and have more information so I could help the class and then future classes on what this was. So any questions on this, guys? Go ahead and put that in the group chat. Okay, Eddie, go ahead.
Okay, so next up is to-do lists and checklists for pre-college preparations. So a couple of key points here are creating timelines from starting now until when you actually get into college and even throughout college. You've got to list essential tasks, prioritize items, and check off your completed tasks. Just feels good, but it also keeps you on track. So preparing for college involves a lot of steps, and creating that comprehensive to-do list and checklist can help you stay organized. So start by making a timeline of important dates and deadlines, such as move-in day, orientation, and the first day of classes. List all the essential tasks that you need to complete, including registering for classes, purchasing supplies, and packing. And prioritize these items to tackle the most critical ones first, ensuring that nothing important gets left until the last minute. So regularly update your checklist and check off tasks as you complete them. The process helps you stay organized, but also reduces stress by breaking down big, overwhelming tasks into kind of smaller, really easy, manageable tasks. Being organized and proactive in your preparations ensures a smooth transition and allows you to focus on enjoying this exciting new chapter of your life. Basically, there's to-do lists that the school has as well that you have to check on your student center. I check those probably once a week to make sure you're staying on top of things, because one week there won't be anything on your to-do list and the next you have to do your immunization records, or you have to secure housing, or you have to submit financial aid or something like that. So it's always important to check that at least weekly. Um, Besides that, I think checklists for me personally throughout college really helped me, again, get those big, really overwhelming assignments like essays and homework and just kind of break them down. And I was able to just get a lot more done that way. So that's probably one of my biggest pieces of advice for those of you going to school is to always have a good checklist. And we do have some checklists that we'll share with you. For those of you that were in the first session, we got them physically. And for those of you in the session, we'll also send them to you virtually. Yeah.
Cool. Alrighty. So this slide, we're going to be going over understanding award letters and your financial aid packages. Read over carefully any of documentation that's being sent to you, either through the mail or through an email. Compare offers, understanding the different terminology for these financial award packages or award letters. And then, as always, just ask questions. Ask questions, and if you guys don't understand something, ask questions to us, or if your parents are there nearby, then you can ask them as well. They might have some further information that they can give you guys. So understanding your financial aid package is essential for planning how to finance your education. When you receive your award letters, read them carefully to understand the types and amounts that are being offered, such as grants, scholarships, loans, and work-study programs. Compare offers from different institutions to determine which is most beneficial to you. Pay close attention to the terms and conditions of each type of aid, including repayments, requirements for loans, and eligibility criteria for grants and scholarships. If anything is unclear or if you need more information, don't hesitate to contact your financial aid office. They can help explain the details and answer any questions you might have. Fully understand your financial aid packages allows you to make informed decisions about your education and ensures that you're aware of your financial commitments and resources.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Cool.
And
You guys have
then
any questions on that? Ask away.
And then finally, importance of sending thank you letters for scholarships and grants received. This is something that's basic really tries to stress. Sending thank you letters for scholarships and grants is an important way to show your gratitude and appreciation to donors who are supporting your education. The simple gesture helps build a positive relationship with the organization or the individual who provided the financial assistance. It also reflects your professionalism and appreciation, which can leave a lasting impression and potentially open doors for future opportunities. When writing your thank you letters, ensure they're personal and sincere, expressing how the financial aid or assistance has positively impacted your educational journey and your future goals. A heartfelt thank you not only acknowledges their generosity, but also demonstrates your commitment to making the most out of the opportunities they've provided. The small act of gratitude can come a long way in maintaining and fostering these valuable connections. For basic, at least, this is something that we actually require students to do every year. We require you to send a thank you. We have a lot of, so we have the basic scholarship, but we also have other scholarships that are what we call named scholarships. And what named scholarships are, so sometimes they depend on your major. So if you're going into healthcare, there's a named scholarship for that one. And that's another maybe $1,000 that someone from the community has put in every year to give to a scholar who's receiving a bachelor's or whatever in healthcare. So there's plenty of those. There's some that are even for GPAs between 3.0 and 3.5, and another one 3.5 to 4.0. So definitely find out if next year, if you're applying for basic and you get good grades, then you might qualify for one of these named scholarships. And it's really important that you send a thank you to those folks because they take notice, and when they take notice, they'll continue investing in you. So just a piece of advice for all of y'all. And that concludes our presentation. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back. I'll let y'all look at that for a second. If you have any questions, you could go ahead and put them in the chat. And we'll just,
All right, so you want to go over the questions?
yeah. Okay, I'm
Okay,
gonna stop.
so Yair is asking, if we're on a wait list for a class, could we still send in our proof of enrollment in our classes?
Yeah, so maybe if you could answer this question for me first. How many units are you enrolled in already? Or have you already enrolled? Like, did your enrollment appointment come?
And then while he's looking for that, Victor has I'm in the process of getting my basic scholarship, and I was wondering how I update my proof of enrollment on it. That I can answer, I think.
Okay.
So I know because I helped a couple of people out was your proof of enrollment can be either like your classes that are already set up for, you know, um your first semester. I think they just want like a screenshot of that. If you can send them that, just email it to them, and then that should be your proof of enrollment. I don't know if there's another way they can do it, Eddie, or
Um, yeah, well, I mean, I think you got it. So Kaleidoscope is kind of the program we use to accept scholarship information. As far as that goes, I check your proof of enrollment. I verify that it's done well. And every year we have a lot of people that don't do it right. So I have to track them down and get them to do it again. But yeah, just it's two pieces of paper that we ask for. The first is a proof that you're registered to classes, which is just a screenshot. And the other is just a PDF of your um, transcript, which you should have from BSHS. So
yes.
that's the only two things we ask for. And as far as the screenshot of your classes, just make sure your name is on there
Yeah.
and ideally your student ID, but if it's not on there, it's okay. And I can work with you to find that too.
Um,
Yeah.
can you see me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I was just asking because I was reading the email again where you told me I got the scholarship because it said go back to my Kaleidoscope account and enter my current mailing address and proof of enrollment on it. And I updated my mailing address. I updated my whole like account, and but I'm not sure what to put my proof of enrollment though.
Yeah. So if you'd like, you can actually watch out for an email I'm sending out tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm sending out the July's Basic Scholar newsletter. And in that, there'll be like a button that says proof of enrollment. You'll click on that and it'll take you straight to the document that you need to submit. Um,
Okay.
and along with that
Because
email,
because I have everything else. I have my school, my name, and my ID,
yeah,
and the enough credits, but I just didn't know like where I'm supposed to put my proof of enrollment. Like when I enter my current mailing address, that's just updating my account, right?
yeah. So just watch out for that email. It's going to be a button that says proof of enrollment. You'll press it and it takes you to the right spot.
All right,
Um,
thanks.
yeah. And besides that, attached with that email, that's Scholar newsletter for July. There's also going to be video walkthroughs, tutorials that I've made. Will explain exactly how to go through every step of the process, from putting classes in your shopping cart to enrolling in the classes, and then the last video is in submitting your proof of enrollment. So
All right,
yeah, I'm gonna send that out to
thank
you,
you.
and just make sure to keep an eye out for that.
All right,
And
thanks.
yeah, and then Yaid, coming back to you. I currently have 10 units, and I'm waiting for the last 6, which I'm on a wait list for. Um, that does happen pretty often for freshmen. Depending on how far from the wait list you are, I would either suggest choosing 2 other required classes that you have to take and enrolling in those instead. Freshmen get last pick, so most of the classes are going to be filled with seniors or sophomores or juniors who need that class as well. So it's a side class that you have to take for your major. So the good thing is that those required classes, again, they'll be available in like next semester or the year after. You can take those your sophomore, junior, senior year. So if you have more questions on that, I can meet with you and we can go over it on a Zoom meeting. But I wouldn't stress about it. You're a freshman, you have 4 years, and those classes do come around again, and they're offered pretty much every year.
Actually,
Kenny,
I did have a question about that.
oh, go ahead, Victor.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna ask because I kind of ran into the same thing Ayer did, like where like my class was like I like there's I had like a waitlist for the class I was taking. Luckily though I now have the class, but what I was wondering is if like since it's a major that we're taking, do we need to take it the first time? Because for me, I'm taking 2 computer science classes this year, and the one I couldn't get was the introduction, which is like the intro to it. And that was when I would kind of need to take the other one, or else I wouldn't really be able to know how to like take it. I guess, or it would help me take that class. I'd say.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and meet with you two one-on-one for that question. I think there are co-requisites, which means you have to take one class at the same time that you take the other. I don't know if that's what was going on with you, but most major classes are offered every semester. So if you don't get it on your first semester, I wouldn't stress too much about it. Your enrollment appointment, you'll have another one next year, and you'll be higher up on the food chain. So you'll be a sophomore, and you'll actually get to choose before the incoming freshman. So you'll be one of those people that gets that class. In the meanwhile, just take a diverse array of classes so you can kind of get an idea of maybe all the majors and all the classes that you might want to take. Your freshman year is really your year to play around with classes and see what your favorite stuff is, so then you can be sure that that's what you want to major in. For me, I was a poli-sci major for 2 or 3 years before I was like, actually, I think I want to do critical race, gender, sexuality studies. So I wouldn't stress about it on your first semester. A lot of people change their majors, the vast majority of people. So no stress. No problem.
Eddie, going back to Yair's initial question, I know you answered the units portion of it and being on a wait list, but I think what he was trying to ask was if you can still send that proof of enrollment for basic. Was that your question, Yair?
Yeah, so you can send it, but I think they're gonna keep you on hold until they see that you're at the 12 units, because 12 is the full time. And usually if they see that you're, let's say, 9 out of 12 units, they're only gonna want to give you 3/4 of the scholarship. So I would go ahead and register in maybe one other class, and then just and then you can always just decide that you're not taking that class and choose. Yeah.
No
Any
problem.
other questions? We're here all night. Yeah, that's your chance. I mean,
Yeah, we're here to help you guys out. And like Eddie mentioned, he mentioned to Yair and to Victor, meeting with you guys later on one-on-one. That is gonna be our plan for the rest of the summer, is splitting the group into, Eddie is gonna take half of the group, I'm gonna take half of the group. And then any questions that you guys might have, or just anything that pops up, within, our last meeting, we're gonna be mentoring you guys from here till your first week or your first month of school. We'll be there for you guys just to kind of help you guys with anything that does come along. If it's anything with classes or financial aid, or just anything in general, or we're here to help you guys out. So Eddie, like I said, he'll take half and I'll take half.
Yeah, and so I'll be taking all of those that are basic scholars. And so if you guys are basic scholars, then I'll basically be meeting with you one every 2 weeks or so. You've already been receiving my monthly newsletters. In every newsletter, at the very bottom, there's something that says schedule a meeting with me. You press it, it's a doodle calendar, and it'll give you options of like 15-minute time frames where we can meet and talk. 15 minutes is just to reserve my time, but I can go way over that. So just if you have any questions, please click on those and then we'll meet. And then I can answer some of the questions that we have on the Google form if you'd like, Angel. And then besides that, if you haven't already filled out the Google form, please do. It has a lot of information that we need to track from you guys to make sure that you are prepared to go to school. But so any concerns or fear about college is one of the questions on the Google form. Someone said getting lost. Again, orientation is going to be your best friend. You're going to orient yourself, and kind of they'll give you maps for the school. You'll have kind of a better idea of where you're going and where you need to be. So that'll help a lot. Someone else had a lengthier question. The feeling of everything being on my shoulders. I have to get to school on my own, riding the bus, and feeling weird about not being able to remember where to go and if I remember my classes, and slightly worried about Being alone, making friends is a hard one. Overall, I'm just worried about my first few weeks since it's a big change. It is the biggest change ever. I mean, this is probably one of the like biggest moments of our lives, of y'all's lives. So definitely don't be afraid of the change. I think it's a really beautiful and positive thing where you'll have a lot of fun where you're going. Um, Orientation helps for making friends. At least it did in my case. I think you could do is try to make a buddy in every class that you have. In case you miss school, then you can ask them, hey, what did I miss that day? So at least have one or two people in each class where you can say, hey, do you want to just exchange information so we can, if I miss a day or if you miss a day, we can communicate about that. So that's my suggestion for making friends. Pancho, do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, Eddie and I's college journey was a lot different. Um, I was at a small school, he was at a big school. You know, I knew almost every person in my class. And not, it obviously took a while to get to know everyone, but it was the same group of people every single day that I met with. Um, and I think the first couple of weeks were crucial in terms of networking with people. And this is a word that I learned and I used a lot throughout college was networking. Um, Obviously making friends is one thing, and then networking with people is another. Exchanging numbers, emails, even like social media and stuff like that. That way you get in contact with them if like Eddie mentioned, if you miss a day of school, if you need notes, maybe you missed, part of the lesson because you had to leave early or you arrived late, whatever it was, getting to know someone or a couple people in that class or the few classes you guys have. I think it's good to try to have an open mind. If you're not used to really being out there and making friends like that, um, have an open mind. This is a whole new setting for you guys. This isn't high school anymore. Whatever stuff you went through high school, this is a new you. This is a new place. Just have fun with it, get to know new people. And trust me, the weeks and the days are gonna go by faster if you guys do that. If you guys isolate yourselves, it's gonna make it a little bit harder to kind of go through college. But I don't think you guys will have any problems with doing any of those things. So that's just my piece of information on my behalf. But yeah, even coming from a small school, I know maybe going to a bigger school is a little harder. But once you get to know maybe one or two people, and then they know two or three people, and then that way you kind of start creating your own little friend group, and study sessions become a lot funner and things like that. So have that open mind, guys.
Yeah, and my last bit that I would add to that is if you're having trouble finding friends in class, there's tons of clubs on campus most of the time. So definitely join a club that you really feel called to or feel like something you're really interested in. And then that way, at least you have one thing in common with all these other people. They all share a love or a passion for one of these things. So that's always a great way to make friends. Volunteer, go to a club, do something that you really enjoy doing, and you'll find other people that are doing something they really enjoy doing. So
And
yeah,
there's clubs for everything, guys. Don't just think they're just, like a chess club and that's it. No, there's there's clubs for everything. So
and one of the other parts of that question was riding the bus. That was also one of my biggest fears. I think that's a really funny thing to be scared of because we all come from Borrego and there's literally no public transit here. So that one kind of brought me back and I was like, oh my gosh, I remember trying to figure out the bus for the first time. Lucky for us and lucky for me, when you could type into maps, Google Maps or Apple Maps, you can find put directions from where you're staying to the school, and you just press the little bus, and it shows you every time the bus stops by, what minute it's gonna stop, how often it comes, and then you can just kind of plan ahead for that, especially if you're not staying on campus. So yeah, that was my biggest asset when I was. That just helped me so much because I could not figure out the bus route. Was felt really overwhelming, but ended up being fine. Mhm.
and like Eddie mentioned in during the slideshow, like even getting lost at school. I know some of the campuses that you guys might be going to are big, obviously compared to our high school. Just whenever you guys have free time, right, during between classes or just on a day that you guys aren't really doing anything, go get lost on campus and then find your way back. I did that, but on freeways when I first moved to San Diego. I lived in an apartment with, with a couple of friends, and I was not scared of freeways, but I just never really drove on freeways. Just because I came from Borrego, right? So my friends said just drive out there on a day, get lost, go on some of the off ramps, hop back on the freeway. Same thing with school, just walk and then kind of see where everything's located, the different buildings, look at the numbers. Obviously some of the bigger buildings are going to have like their name, like the library and stuff like that, or the computer center, or the whatever it is, the resource center. Just get lost and then find your way back to where you first were, and then that way you kind of get to know your campus a little better. That's just my piece of advice on that.
Yeah. And then the last response from any concerns or fears about college is just not being prepared enough. It's overwhelming, especially if you are maybe the first person in your family to go to college, or your parents didn't go to college, then you don't really know where to ask for help from. But I think having basic mentors, me, or college or high school mentors like Pancho, then you have a really good opportunity of just like asking us any questions. We're gonna have a lot of answers because we've been through it, and that is something I didn't have growing up. So I'm just really happy that I get to be that for y'all, because it is a very scary journey, but it ends up being a lot easier than you think, just with a little help. Yeah. Any additional questions from those of you on the Zoom? Or any last piece of advice from you, Mr. Ramirez?
I mean, no, just if you guys do come up with any questions later on, like let's say you think about something later on today or maybe tomorrow, and it's still going to be a week before our next meeting, shoot us a text or shoot us an email. I'm pretty sure you guys are in the group chat or on this meeting have our numbers and our emails. Just send it that way, and then that way we can either set up a Zoom meeting, or if it's something super easy that we can answer like over a text message, then we can just get that going right away. So I know I'll be checking my emails regularly during the summer, and my phone's always on me, so if it's a text, then I can just get to that right away. And I'm pretty sure the same thing with Eddie.
Yeah.
He'll be there answering any questions. So use us guys during the summer. We're here to help you guys out. If we have our next Zoom meeting, make sure you guys are here. Sure you guys tell the rest of the people in your group chat, if you guys still have your group chat, let them know that what we're doing, and how beneficial it is for you guys to kind of help you guys through this journey. We're happy to be part of it, and we're happy to be here to help you guys out. So
Yeah. And if you haven't filled out the survey, please do that so we can gather as much information. And honestly, that'll help us when we finally meet with you to have an idea of where your head is at, what you might need help with, stuff like that. So, yeah. Well, if nothing else, no more questions, then this will be the end of the Zoom meeting. Okay, looks good. Bye, y'all. Thank you so
thank
much
you
for
guys.
being here. Appreciate it.